Hello everyone, this is Catherine. Um, Today I'm going to do a video about the brush tool in Photoshop. That's this little tool right here. Yesterday I did a video about how to make a watermark for your photos, and somebody didn't know how to get the watermark off of their brush, so I figured I would just do a whole video about the entire brush instead of just that one thing. So, um, this right here is your brush palette. So if you click this little arrow right here, it's going to show you all of the brushes that you have available in this current group. Like if you click up here, there are other brushes that you can load, and if you buy brushes or you download some from the internet, then you would load them over here in this little, you'd click load brushes and then go to that folder um, that you have them saved in, probably downloads. I don't have any right now, as I usually just make my own. But if you did that, that's where they would be. You'd probably go to downloads and then find the name of that brush in there. And then you'd click load. And then those brushes would show up here. So this is your current brush palette. So yesterday we made a watermark. So this was the watermark I made. And if you didn't know how to get it off, that's what you would do, is just click on any other brush that you want to use. So usually for photography we stick with this little soft edged brush right here. And then the way to change your colors is down here. So this is your foreground color, this is your background color. If you click D on your keyboard, it changes it to the default, which is black and white. So this is what your soft brush looks like. It's darker in the middle, and then it just kind of gets lighter as you go out, and it makes like for a nice soft edge. Like if you wanted to do something, there's no really hard edges there. And then there is the hard edged one, and that just makes a straight up circle. So if I usually only use that if I want to make like a dotted line or something. Which brings us to over here. This is our brush tools. If you don't have this little bucket with paintbrushes sticking out of it over here, you can find it up here. You go to Window and then click Brush, and it'll open up right there for you. So what this does is it makes it so that you can change the spacing, so that you can make that dotted line I was talking about. And then when you drag it around, make it a little smaller. It makes a, or not, makes a dotted line. And then if you want your line to be really straight, all you have to do is hold down the Shift button, Shift key, while you drag, and then it makes it nice and straight. See, it doesn't matter if I go up or down, it still makes a nice straight line. And then this little thing right here is handy. This changes the angle of your brush, which is no big deal if you have a circle. But if you have something like my little logo here, see how it's just straight? If I change the angle, I can have it like that. So I like to do that sometimes. Like I'll do that, and then I'll delete these little brackets around the edge so it just looks like I stamped it on there, and it's not just straight up and down. But yeah, and then there's little flip keys here, which are really handy for if you're doing like a corner thing. See, like right now that's how it is without it flipped, but then I can flip it, and now it's upside down. Flip it that way. Flip it that way. Okay. So yeah, there's that. And then somebody might be thinking, why do I want to use that for pictures? So if we go over here, I can show you how handy it can be on a picture. So click my soft edge brush here, and then make a new layer, and then let's pick up some of this brown off the table. Let's say I don't like how much her reflection shows up in the table, and I want to make it a little duller. So I pick up some of that brown, and then change my opacity down to a little less than 50%. And then I can just brush over it, and it makes it kind of disappear. And then if I want these dots gone altogether, I can bring it up to 100%. Whoops, don't do that. And I can just paint all those dots away. Pretty cool, huh? So then, there's this lovely feature here called a layer mask. If you click on that, it makes a mask. And basically, right now, it's just like a clear, like let's say, like a piece of tracing paper or acetate or something over your picture. And when it's white, it's see-through. And then when it's black, it's not see-through. You're blocking whatever is on this layer. So, let's say I want to bring some of those dots back, but I'm not sure if I like all of them. So I can paint the black to bring the dots back. And then I'll be like, alright, so I want to get rid of some of them, but not all of them. So I change to white, because the things that are white are going to show through. Yeah. Anyway, paint that. See, like, no, maybe I don't like that one gone. I like that one, but I don't like this green one. I can paint that. I want to get rid of the lines from the chairs, maybe. So get rid of those. And those aren't like whole dots, so we'll get rid of those. So you can basically do whatever you want with the paintbrush. It's pretty handy. And then another thing I like to use the paintbrush for is if you add a new layer and then change it to soft light, it just kind of adds like a little bit of a colored light effect, and you can paint it on. So let's say I wanted her cheeks to be a little more rosy. I can add like a reddish pink color. Let's go with something like that. And then just change the opacity, and I can brush it on her cheeks, and it makes them look a little bit pinker. So there's that. And then I also have this picture right here that I wanted to use to show you the light. So you change this to soft light, that new layer. Let's say I want to do like a little golden yellow color. Click right there. Let's say I want to go with that color. Maybe a little less green. That's a little too green for me. Let's go. I like that color. Somewhere around there. Okay, and then change it down a little bit. And make the brush bigger. And then I can add some light coming through the trees here. And then it's down to 18%, so it's not going to show too much. I usually just like to build it up. But for the sake of speeding up things, I can make it bigger, make it darker. Then you guys can see how drastic it can be. And normally I wouldn't have it that dark right away. I would build up a little bit, but that way you can see how it adds the light. Yeah, so the other thing I want to show you is flow. So we've changed the opacity. You can also change the flow. So let's go back to my little blank piece here so you can see what it does. Put the opacity at 100%. Change it to a darker color so you can see. Alright, so this is 100% opacity. Let's do the solid brush. It'll be easier to see. Okay, so this is at 100% opacity, 100% flow, just like that. And then let's say, change it to 50. This is 50% opacity, 100% flow. And then we change that back to 100, but put this down to 50. This is 50% flow. See how it's lighter, but it's not, like, you can still see the whole thing because it's not making it opaque. It's just, it's kind of like the amount of paint that's on your brush, I guess. So it's a little different than the opacity one. It's like, it's not see-through, it's just lighter, I guess. That's the way I like to think of it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the brush tool. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask me in the Facebook group. If you need the link to the Facebook group, you can find it in the description below. Alright, thanks a lot. See you guys later.